And we're live! Hello all and welcome. And I'm the Realist Philosopher, and this is the Realist Philosopher Show. La la la. I bet you don't know what show that's from. You'd have to be pretty old to remember that. So how y'all doing today? Hope y'all doing good, fine and well. Hope y'all had a great weekend. Mine was alright. Pretty busy, actually, making content for a new channel that I've started, and after this broadcast, I'm going to put a link to it on my website. It's a channel specifically and only for anti-feminist content. And unlike all these broads out there pretending to be anti-feminist so they can get your moolah because they know who has all the money, well, most of the money anyway, the ones that haven't had it robbed from them by women anyway, and that's men! Yeah, so they target men, essentially, trying to make these men believe that they, being women, but saying nice stuff, good stuff about men are their allies, but they're not. They're all a bunch of frauds. But I'm actually a real anti-feminist, okay? I hate feminism. I hate leftism in general, and that's what this show and this channel is for. Beating down, attacking, destroying, showing the contradictions in leftist nonsense, not to mention the nonsensical nature of the vast majority, if not all of it. But this other channel is going to be specifically only for anti-feminist content, specifically, okay? And again, I'll put the link to this on my website. Essentially, it's the best bits gleaned from all my shows that are only specifically about attacking feminism, anti-feminist content. So again, I'll put that link in the upper, all the little links at the top of my website so you can go check out content that specifically addresses that, if that tickles your fancy. Yeah, I think I've already made like 40 videos. It's like, whoa, geez, a long fucking time. And I've only went through like a third of all my content. So there'll be a lot of content. I already downloaded a week's worth. I'm releasing the content every 12 hours, so you go check that out. Good laugh, funny stuff. All right, so let's begin. So this will be yet another episode of Stupid Shit. I've been on a rampage with the crazy shit lately, so I thought it was time I do another video in my series of stupid shit. People doing amazingly stupid things. Not crazy, but stupid. Well, some of it may be a little crazy, of course. It seems like everything that comes from the left, and the majority of this shit that's stupid comes from the left, has an element of crazy in it as well, but it's more stupid than anything else. You're just like, holy shit, that guy's a fucking moron. What was he thinking? That's the kind of content I'll be covering today. So let's just jump right into it without too much preamble. All right, first story. Oh boy, this guy's a simp. What a moron. When I read this, I was just like, wow, this guy's got literally no self-esteem. South London, right? UK is one of the top 5 feminist countries out there. Gives woman a kidney. You probably heard this story already. I would have done it sooner, but the story I found prior, I tried to cut and paste pictures and text, and I couldn't. And that really pisses me off. I go to one of these websites, a supposed news website, and I try to cut and paste, I try to copy. Nothing happens. The right click on my mouse won't work. They think they're so clever. Yeah! You can't take the content from here and a picture. Yeah, I'll just go somewhere else. Pinhead. So when I found the opportunity, I did, and I got the picture and text I needed. Yeah, London. Wow. So he gave her his kidney, proposed, then she turned him down. What a loser, huh? Oh my God. I'm such a loser. The only way I can get a Wayman is to give her a kidney. And even then, I can't get her. Oh, my God. Even when I give her body parts, I can't get her. Wow. That says a lot more about you than it does about her. She's just your typical Wayman, typical Western Wayman, but you, pal. Wow, what a loser you are. Oh, boy, yeah. Not too much self-esteem going on there. A man and a woman in South London have started a conversation on the interwebs about love, friendship, and the gray area that can sometimes separate the two. There's no gray area. Gray area bullshit is created by leftists, okay? Who want to muddy all the waters and say everything's relative. No gray, black and white, baby. I mean, there might be some instances where there's gray, but very few. Simon Lewis and Mary Emanuelle first met in the mid-90s at a club in London. Louise was immediately taken with Emanuelle. Lewis is the man. Well, technically. Well, Emmanuel found Lewis, who was 8 years her senior, to be handsome. The two flirted all night and shared a kiss, but nothing further happened. Really? Oh boy. So he might have actually had an opportunity, but he was too much of a pussy to follow through on it. She finds me handsome and kissed me. Maybe I should do something more. Take it a step further. Take her back to my place. We start watching a movie. And then I just reach over and grab her. Oh, no, I am too much of a pussy to do that. So instead, you're going to get friend zoned for 20 years. You pathetic meathead, you. So, Emmanuel, the broad, worked as a secretary for a stockbroker while also caring for her son, Dwayne. Wow. And a single mom. You not only got turned down for marriage by some broad who you gave a kidney to, but she's also a single mother. Oh my God! She literally has no. Oh my God, this is great, unbelievable. Single mother. Wow. I mean, what options does she have? She literally has no options. What options does she have? What man wants a single mother? An old single mother. Somebody like you, but she don't want you because she's got unrealistic expectations, like most Western women, and she doesn't realize that she's over the hill. And in terms of sexual marketplace value, she's broke. Probably a woke feminist, yeah. So Lewis helped his brother organize music events, yet the two remained friends. You see, you had a chance back in the 90s, Pinhead, but you blew it. You blew it because you were too much of a pussy to make a move. I'm going to friend zone myself. I've noticed that a lot of men do this, that they will friend zone themselves, and then later on they wonder, how did I get into the friend zone? Because you didn't make a move, Pinhead, and she saw what a pussy-wussy wimp you were, and she wanted a man that was a little more aggressive, a little more assertive, and you didn't turn out to be that guy. She friend-zoned you because she wants a man that's more aggressive and assertive. And then once you got put into that friend zone, and you were there for a couple fucking decades, there's no getting out. And by the way, there's no getting out anyway. Once you're in the friend zone, you're there forever. Whether you put yourself there or she puts you there because you're too much of a wussy to make the first move. Too bad he didn't make a move. He then would have found out that, this is going nowhere. She's not that great. You would have gotten that piece of her instead of chasing after that tail forever because you were too much of a pussy 20 years ago to make a move. So you kept wondering, what could be, what might be? And, she's to blame too because she knows that he wants her. But she don't want him, but she continues to string him along because he's such a pussy, such a wimp, that he's willing to do all these wonderful things for her. Help me move, carry heavy shit for me, fix my car. But I don't need no man. Yeah, right. Unless, of course, it's wimp, friend zone, men who will do anything you want for the possibility of getting some, which they might have been able to get if they had some balls to begin with. Man. Oh, listen to this shit. Simon still carried a torch for Emmanuel. No, really? All men in the friend zone who stay in the friend zone and stay in contact with a woman and continue to have a relationship with them, they all have torches for a woman. They're all hoping that one day, maybe they'll get a piece of pone. Pathetic loser. This kid's a perfect example. But he not only gave her fucking chocolate and roses on Valentine's Day. What a loser. No wonder she don't want you, pal. You're too desperate. He also gave her a kidney. Then in September, May 2014, Emmanuel collapsed at home. Her 21-year-old son, oh my God. Wow, she popped out kids early. Discovered her on the floor choking on her own vomit. What a wonderful scene. She was rushed to the hospital where she learned she had end-stage kidney disease. Wow. Really? There were no signs? I mean, you're in that bad of health, your kidneys are failing, and you don't feel bad? There's no precursor, no symptoms. You're just like one day, blip, drop. Without warning? I kind of doubt that. Her only savior would be a transplant, but with her rare B-negative blood, chances were slim. Oh, but fear not. I friend zone the right man. The friend zone pays off again. Woo-hoo-hoo! She must have been dancing in glee when she found out he was a match. And she knew that she could manipulate him into giving a fucking kidney. I would let her die. Of course, I wouldn't be in the friend zone to begin with. I'm not a pathetic loser like this guy. So anyway, she says, I couldn't believe it. I had been given a death sentence. My name was put on a dead donor list. That's great. I can only wait. Wow. Fear not. There are any number of simps out there would just love to have a old, Post-wall overweight single mother. After being discharged in January 2015, Simon visited her every day. What a pathetic simp! And helped care for her, often staying the night to feed and bathe her. See, this is the mistake you guys make. You think that if you do all these lovey-dovey nice things for a broad, you're somehow going to get her favor. It won't work, okay? You see, women are emotional beings. They've been trained to be that way by feminism. They don't really make decisions based on logic or reason or even virtue anymore. And when you're raised on feminism, when you're raised to be 100% completely, utterly emotional, and at the same time taught that, marriage isn't a big deal, you don't need a man, and then you ride the cock carousel, they're unable to bond emotionally. If she hadn't ridden the cock carousel, if she had kept herself pure, well, then she would have been interested in this guy from the start, instead of being completely, totally unable to see the virtues that he brought to the table because he didn't give me some little tingle in my loins because he wasn't assertive enough or this or that. No, she would have been attracted to his virtues, and wedding bells would have soon been ringing. But no. So that they didn't get together is as much her fault as his fault for being a non-assertive, aggressive pussy, and hers for being a virtueless tramp who's unable to pair bond with a man. So you're wasting your time, pal. You could do everything you want. You can give her sponge baths and go, ooh, I'm getting a touch of finally. Pathetic loser. Go find a woman who actually wants you. None of this stuff is going to get her interest in you because all her interest is grounded in physicality, not virtue. So you're wasting your fucking time. He stayed the night to feed and bathe her. I called it. I didn't even read the story, by the way. To show thanks, I bet you did stay to bathe her, you pathetic loser. He's probably a virgin, too. 58-year-old virgin or something. Oh, my God. To show thanks, Mary organized her trip to Spain and even organized times when she could receive her kidney trips while abroad. Kidney trips? I don't know what that's about. Maybe getting hooked up to that machine. While in Spain, she learned there was a match, but by the time she got back to London, the kidney had already been taken. I'm going to go on vacation. Oh, my God. Talk about having your priorities fucked up. I need a kidney. I'm going to die. So instead of waiting in London for a kidney to turn up, I'm just going to take a trip to Spain. Because, somebody dies. They have an organ that needs to be transplanted. They can only hold that off for 12 hours. So I'm going to travel to another fucking country by plane to have some fun and fuck up my chances of getting a kidney so that this guy who's been friend-zoned for 20 years has to give me one of his. Oh, man. Talk about shitty judgment on her part. If I had a kidney and I needed a kidney, I wouldn't be going anywhere. I'd be sitting with bated breath in my apartment watching reruns of fucking Happy Days or something until something came up. So I would be ready and willing and able to get that fucking kidney. But her, oh no, let's go to Spain. Yeah, she's so responsible. Oh my God. All right. According to the Mirror, while in Spain. Okay, so it continues by saying it was then Lewis suggested he get tested to see if he shared her blood type, and it turns out he was a match. Wow. It just occurred to him now? Really? Well, maybe it occurred to him before, but he didn't want to put himself forward. Maybe he's not as big a pussy as I thought, but, yeah, he is actually. Anyway, according to the Mirror, after learning he was a good fit, in one way, he has something she needs. Now she wants him. Now she needs him, right? Yeah, right. Until she doesn't. Because men are nothing more than a utility. They're a commodity, they're objects, and that's it. That's why she's a single mother, pal. Did you stop and ask yourself why this broad's a single mother? No. But you'll tolerate my presence, and I'm such a pathetic loser with such low self-esteem. That's enough for me. I have no confidence, so, I can't go out there and look for some other chick. Because none will want me but her. Woo-hoo. Loser. So after learning he was a good fit, they both underwent months of assessment before the successful surgery. The two, who now lived in Louise's East London flat. He moved her. Oh, this is great. Wait, did he move in with her? Oh, my God. He moved in with her to take care of her. Wow. Wowie. This guy is so good, yet she doesn't want him. This is amazing to me. Yeah, well, why would she, right? There's nothing to be gained. You see, she's getting everything she needs, and then some from this pathetic simp loser who is constantly chasing after her because he hasn't gotten any yet. So she figures, if I marry him and I give him the poon and I give him my love, I'll get less. Right now, denying him that, I'm getting more. So she's an opportunist. She's just an opportunist taking advantage of this guy. Gee, I've never seen this before. Oh, he moved in with her, probably quit his job, gave up his life. Oh, wow. So he's living in her flat, nursing her back to health. Shortly after this is when Luis asked Emmanuel to marry him. Great. Why would she want, women today. Now, if you go back 100, 150 years, you'd have a better chance, right? Of course, men were actually men back then, and I don't know that even this big a loser would have existed in the 19th century. Yeah, he wouldn't know how to exist. There was no feminism, poisoning relationships, destroying men through single mommies, no daddy to teach them how to be men. So this guy wouldn't have even have existed back then. This wouldn't have been an issue. Oh, my God. Wow. Unfortunately, Emmanuel said no. What a cunt. What a cunt. I'm devoted to feminism, meaning I'm getting everything I need from him that I would get from a husband, plus more. Why would she marry you? She's nothing more than an opportunist, you see. I let him down gently by saying I'd have to think about it, she said. I think I'd worry if we got married. It would in some way damage our special friendship. Special friendship. What does that mean? I'm already getting so much out of you. I've got you on the friggin' hook. I'm afraid that if I unhooked you and let you have what you've been chasing forever, that you'd stop giving me all these bonuses, that you'd stop taking care of me, that you'd stop being such a simp and fixing my car and doing all these wonderful things for me and giving me kidneys. I also don't want to get wed until I'm fully better health-wise. Yeah, by the way, it never happened. This was like January 2015. So this was 4.5 years ago, and it still ain't happened. And he's still a pathetic, whimpering, slobbering, simp loser. Oh, my God. Despite her no, Simon says he doesn't regret a thing. Simon, you need to wake up. She used you, all right? You were a strong back. She's an entitled Wayman, okay? She's getting everything she wants and needs from the state, which is a surrogate husband and daddy for her kid. And she's been able to, spin a bunch of friendships into a bunch of pathetic beta orbiters like you. And you're the most pathetic beta orbiter I've ever seen. I've seen some pathetic beta orbiters for but 2 decades, and then you give her a kidney at the end, and now you're perfectly fine with that fact, and you don't see that she's been using you all this time? Wake up, man! Smell the fucking coffee I'm drinking here. I didn't think twice about it, says Simon. Simon says. It's more like Emmanuel says, and you do. Because you're just her lapdog, ain't you, pal? Want a treat? Want a treat, Simon? Well, I'm not going to give you a treat, but I'm going to hold it here for 25 years. And you're going to pathetically beg for it forever and even give me a fucking kidney for something you're not getting. Pathetic. There's no question about doing something like that for someone you love who doesn't love you, who probably holds you in disdain because you're so pathetic and so desperate. How could she not hold you in anything but contempt? You're so pathetic. Feminism is evil. Look what it's done to this poor guy who was probably raised by a single mother, which is probably why he's attracted to her to begin with. Oh, man. So sad. This guy. Wow. That is fucked up. I gave you a kidney. You was gonna die. I've just been pining away for you for 25 years. And you like me too. Will you marry me? Nah, I've ridden too many cocks. Ridden too many cocks? I can't bond. I don't feel anything for you beyond your utility to me. Sorry. And I know that, of course, you're such a pathetic loser that's going to continue to pine away and do whatever I want you to do in hopes that you might get some someday. Yeah, you eschewed having children in hopes that you might get with me one day. So you have no family. You have no girlfriend, no wife, no kids. But hey, I got mine. A malignant narcissist. She's a malignant narcissist. You need to get away from her, pal. You need to get away from her fast. You needed to get away from her 20 years ago. Since the mid-90s. Fuck! 25 years this guy's been chasing a single broad. I mean, has he had any girlfriends? Has he had any serious relationships in that time? Wow, just wow. I don't think so, because I don't think that a girlfriend or a wife would tolerate him orbiting around this broad that he can never get, but he clearly has feelings for, which a wife or girlfriend would see. Yeah, this guy's a loser. Don't be this guy, gentlemen. Don't be a beta orbiter simp, okay? Once a woman friend zones you, or you friend zone yourself like this guy did, however you end up in the friend zone, once you get in it, you will never get out. Nothing you do will get you out. Donate your heart and kill yourself. She's not going to marry your corpse unless, of course, it gets her some kind of fucking settlement from your estate, okay? He killed himself for me. He gave me his heart. He was a match. In exchange, I get all his shit because I posthumously married him. And he left everything to me in his will. Wow, that's great, yeah. I wonder if she would have married him then, if he'd be dead. He wanted to give her his fucking heart. Would she have married him then? And then he died. She got all his shit. That might have encouraged her to do that, right? Of course. She'd get something out of it. Which is the only reason that she spends any time around this guy or has any relationship at all. And that's the only reason, guys, that women keep you around as an orbiter, as a friend, because they want something from you. Okay? Again, don't be this guy. If you're this guy, they really only have contempt for you. And they look down on you, and they are not your friends. All right. Moving on to some more shit. Oh, boy. Okay. Wow. This is stupid. I don't get... By the way, this next story... Any of you know who Jada Pinkett Smith is? She's Will Smith's wife. I think she was in those last two horrible Matrix movies. One of those ship captains. Boy, those were bad, huh? Those are real bad movies. I hear some people talking about them like they were good. Like there was something profound about those last two, especially with the architect. Seemed like nonsense to me. Poor man's metaphysics. Oh, boy. Anyway, Jada Pinkett Smith reveals she suffered from porn addiction. I don't get this. I don't get this with any broad or anybody that's in a marriage. Excuse me. I have bad allergies. All right. Porn addiction. Isn't her husband like a 6'3", tall, good-looking guy? I mean, Will Smith, for a black guy, he's good-looking, right? I have a hard time judging these things. Porn addiction. Wow, what's up with that? See, there's the stupid thing. People get married. I don't get this. This is stupid. This is stupid to me because how would you have any kind of... I mean, I don't get it. If you have a porn addiction and you're married to somebody, unless you're watching that porn with them, each and every time you're having, one of these interactions with porn and some kind of sex toy, there's a problem. There's a problem in your relationship. And instead of dealing with that problem, you just get ever deeper into the porn. That's stupid. That is stupid. In another explosive revelation on Red Table Talk, Jada Pinkett Smith provided insight on her past relationship with porn. Like I care. What do I care? This is so stupid. Why do I fucking care? On the latest episode of the hit Facebook series. Facebook has TV shows? Since when? Must be Mark Zuckerberg trying to make up some of his humongous losses by censoring people, which aired Monday, May 20th, 2019. Jada Pinkett Smith, her daughter Willow Smith, who's 18. Another reason why I thought this was stupid. Who talks about watching porn with their kid? Who talks about this shit? No wonder the kids are so dysfunctional. These kids think they're psychic and they're geniuses and can tell the future, and the son... That pinhead that was in the horrible fucking next Karate Kid movie, the Karate Kid with, what was his name? Jackie Chan. What a piece of crap that was. We're going to have a little bunch of 12-year-old kids running around trying to beat up Jackie Chan. Really? Remember that scene? He had like 6 little kids trying to beat him up. What are you talking about? Just smack them. 6 against 1? Yeah, they're 12. I got beat up 12 6-year-olds too. Big fucking deal. What a stupid movie. What a piece of crap. It wasn't even karate. It was kung fu. But they could call it Kung Fu Kid. Then they wouldn't get the name recognition. What a piece of crap that was. He's been trying to give his kid a movie career for years, and the kid can't act for shit. Anyway, she was on with her child, Willow Smith. They keep trying to give these kids a career in Hollywood. They can't act. She was on the show with her mother. What? Jada was on with her mother and her daughter. Oh, my God. Yeah, because I want to sit around and talk about porn with my father, who's dead. It'd be an interesting conversation. I have to dig his corpse up. Can you imagine that? I got my dad sitting there in a fucking chair, his rotted fucking skeleton. And I'm talking to him about porn, and I got a little kid I don't have sitting in the seat beside me. That's an interesting visual. Imagine that. It'd be more interesting than this. Conversations with your dead parents and non-existent kids. Oh, my God. Does porn ruin relationships was the title of the show. Pinkett Smith began by saying, if I was still on my porn game, I'd be able to show you some good porn. This is so stupid. But that's the whole reason it's on this episode. She also admitted to having an unhealthy relationship with porn. Back in the day, I had a little porn addiction. What? What do you mean a little? That's like you are or you aren't, right? That's like saying I'm a little black or I'm a little white. You're a white person or you're a black person. I mean, I guess you could be a little both and say, well, my mommy was black and my daddy was white, so I'm a little black, little white. No, you're half black, half white. You're not a little of either. You're a lot of either. But in terms of addiction, you're either addicted to something or you're not. There's no little addictions, right? This is stupid. I need to use minimalizing language because I'm still ashamed of this, even though I'm trying to act like I'm not, because I'm a good little lefty pinhead and BC. So I need to talk and act as if I have no shame about anything. When I was a kid, we don't discuss this stuff. This stuff is not discussed in mixed company. But of course, there's no standards today. There's no shame. You can just talk about anything. You can get your 12-year-old kid dildos. Yeah, you can buy your kid a whole fucking trunk of dildos and sex toys for Christmas, right? No problem. Talk about sex with your 12-year-old. Talk about sex with your husband, with your 12-year-old. Give her advice on the best positions and technique. Yeah, everything goes, right? Jada Pinkett goes on to say, but I wasn't in a relationship when I had a porn addiction. Fuck, she told. So this was, she's old, by the way. She's like my age. So we're talking, 30 years ago? How long she been married to Will Smith? 20? Oh, fuck. I burned my fucking throat. I need to get a less effective thermos. Fuck me. This thermos is too good. It's been an hour since I made that shit. Wow. Ooh. I'm going to be feeling that for a few days. All right, so Willow asked her mother if she was fixated on porn. Jana responded it was actually like filling an emptiness. At least you think it is, but it actually is not. Okay, so this wasn't even within the last 20 years. Why is she telling us then? This is stupid. This is stupid. Why did I put this in here? I thought it was stupid when I first saw it, but I didn't read the story completely. I just saw the headline, and I'm like, okay, this is stupid. This is really stupid. But it's not only stupid, it's boring. Oh, boy. Later in the episode, Willow admitted that she was exposed to porn for the first time at age 11. Whoop-de-fucking-do. That's not all that uncommon. Not healthy, but not uncommon. All my girlfriends were like, you should watch that, said Willow, now 18. So now you're going to discuss porn with her and your mama. It was probably 80. Well, black mother, so, okay, probably like 65. Probably popped out Jada at 15. All right. Jada said she was aware her daughter was exposed to hardcore porn by viewing Tumblr. Tumblr? Isn't Tumblr that website for feminists? For big, fat, man-hating feminists? I remember the first time I went on Willow's Tumblr, she was like 10 or 11. She said, she was very matter-of-fact. She said, I'm going to my Tumblr page, but as we're going through the Tumblr page, you scroll and see a lot of stuff. This has nothing to do with me, so she's just scrolling, and when I tell you I saw some of the most hardcore pornography on Tumblr. So let me get this straight. Your daughter was scrolling through Tumblr at age 11. You saw a bunch of hardcore porn. And because it, in your mind, had nothing to do with you, you said nothing? This is why I say these people are a bunch of degenerates. If my 11-year-old, first of all, I don't think I would give my 11-year-old unlimited access to the fucking internet. I would have a computer in the house, or they might have their own computer, but it would have lots and lots and lots of fucking security and parental blocks and shit. Wouldn't be 100% effective, but I would monitor my kid's internet use, okay? But if my kid had a fucking tablet with all the blocks in the world, and I saw all this fucking hardcore porn, I'm not going to say it wasn't about me. It's about you. Your kid is 11 years old. They don't have any fucking autonomy, bitch. You gotta be what's called a fucking parent and steward them and guide them and watch what shit they're watching on TV and on fucking internet. Stupid. These people are stupid. The worst parents in the world. No one of the kids is so fucked up. I can't read anymore. No more. And thank God it's over. That's stupid. Stupid. Here's another stupid story. Listen to this shit. More than 200 of the world's top female hockey players form a union in steps towards a league of their own. Like a play on words of that movie, A League of Their Own. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Here we go. Here we go in a short lesson about economics and markets and supply and demand. Okay. Nobody wants to watch women play hockey. Okay? You know why? Men are much better at it. And a team of 12, 13-year-olds would beat you ladies up, okay? Hockey tends to be a very physical sport, very physically demanding, sometimes violent, aggressive. That's part of the reason people go see it. If I go watch a hockey game, I don't feel like the experience is complete unless two guys go at it. You know how they're ineffectually punching each other wearing these giant fucking gloves that make big, heavy, fucking 16-ounce sparring boxing gloves look small and ineffectual. The big giant balloons on their hands and wearing headgear, and they're trying to punch each other over these big giant hand guards and shit, and they spend fucking 5 minutes doing that shit ineffectually because they're wearing all this headgear and shit. I want to see that. I want to see that. I want to see that testosterone going wild and these guys trying to ineffectually beat the shit out of each other wearing all this fucking protective gear. It's hilarious. It's very entertaining. I'm not going to see that with a bunch of broads. You ladies couldn't hit hard enough to do any real damage. And it looks ridiculous. And you don't have the testosterone to be that aggressive anyway. You're going to avoid conflict. What do I want to see that for? I'll see more conflict in a game of pee-wee hockey. Or whatever they call it. There's no demand for what you're supplying. Okay, so this is from the Associated Press. More than 200 of the world's top female players have taken the next step. What's the first step? Toward a viable professional league by forming a union. Let's form a union! Do we have any jobs? No! Aren't you put the cart before the horse? This is interesting. So, you're running around, doing a job, trying to do a job, but nobody's paying you. You don't work for anybody, but you formed a union. This is great. I think you got the steps mixed up, ladies. Don't you first have to have somebody who's paying you? Don't you actually have to have work? Some form of income before you form a union? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And this is at the same time the Canadian Women's Hockey League folded due to financial woes, meaning nobody wants to see Canadian women's hockey. Canada is the home of feminism, right? I mean, that country is so fucking feminist. Remember, they elected that idiot Justin Trudeau, who was a drama teacher. I teach drama and skiing. He's a genius, right? Who may or may not be the son of Fidel Castro. May or may not be the love child of Fidel Castro. Which would make sense. He's got communism flowing through his veins. Heavy duty, pure 100% commie blood. It would make sense. Yeah, it's not surprising that they tried to start a Canadian Women's Hockey League. And even there, in pro-feminist, pro-Wayman, gynocentric Canada, where half the government is Wayman, they couldn't do it. Nobody wants to see it because unless you make this a communist country, where you're essentially forcing people to do what you want them to do, you're not going to get people to go see Canadian women's hockey, okay? Not going to happen. And I think even if you were to try to introduce fucking Wayman hockey in old Iron Curtain Soviet Russia, nobody would go. Nobody would go. Oh, boy. So the Professional Women's Hockey Players Association said Monday the paperwork was filed Friday. The women announced this month their pledge to sit out the upcoming season in North America after the Canadian Women's Hockey League abruptly shut down this year. Nobody's going to miss you. I think this is so hilarious. Nobody goes to see women hockey. Nobody. I've seen men's hockey. I've never seen women hockey. You know why? It sucks. It's not entertaining. Nor will I watch that pathetic, crappy women's MMA. The moment they started having women on that UFC show, I stopped watching. And I don't watch the UFC anymore either. I do not understand for the life of me how anybody gets a thrill out of seeing two women pound on each other. And I used to box. I boxed for, almost 30 years. You get whacked in the head enough, it gets a little tiring. You get old, you get groans, moans, you get injuries, you're sore. So no more of that. But I know about fighting, okay? And I don't want to see a bunch of women pound on each other, okay? I just don't. I don't want to see this feminist empowerment crap, okay? Yo, women! Stop shooting yourself up with testosterone to try and be like men and pounding each other in the fucking head. We don't want to see that. Good Lord. I mean, you're having it pushed on us by mixing it with the men's events, right? Would anybody watch if it was an all-women UFC? No. You're riding our coattails again, bitches. No interest in women fighting, and there's no interest in women hockey either. Yeah, you announced your pledge to sit out the upcoming season in North America after the Canadian Women's Hockey League abruptly shut down this year. You know why? No money. Nobody's going to see the games. I love the entitlement of these bitches. I love it. So let me get this straight. Stadiums, arenas are being rented out. Time is being put aside for your games. The ticket prices go to paying for the space, and then whatever's left over will go to, team owner, the players, and it'll be divvied out evenly, right? Okay, and then, of course, you get money from sponsors, and, of course, also money from whoever's televising it, right, and whatever sponsorships they have. The people televising it will pay the team or union or whatever, and then that gets used to pay players as well. But if nobody wants to see it, this is the thing. If you can't sell tickets and nobody wants to watch it on TV, then no sponsors are going to come along to sponsor you. There's going to be no money to pay for the stadium, let alone your fucking salaries. What's supposed to happen here? Well, they expect some man to come along and pull money out of his ass and pay all this stuff for them because, we're women. We deserve equality. Look, everybody wants to see the men. The men. Oh, they got a full stadium and they got all this sponsorship. We deserve that. We should have that too. Somebody should pull money out of their fucking ass. Hell, they should spin it out of thin air and give it to us because we're women. And we've been oppressed at some time, somewhere, in some way. Hasn't everybody? But they deserve this special consideration that nobody else deserves. That if they want something, they should get it, even if there's no market for what they're selling. Yeah, right. Boy, I wish the market worked like that, right? I wish I could just snap my finger. And the next time I go take a dump, a golden egg comes out. Woohoo! Yeah! I wish I could just snap my finger and I would have unlimited fucking clients forever. I wish I could just snap my finger. Everybody wants what I'm selling forever. Doesn't work that way, ladies. But they expect it to, right? Yeah, because unlike what they've been telling you and what you've been told, women are treated very specially. They've gotten everything they wanted in life because they're women. And people want a virtue signal and so how wonderful they are. So they give these women everything they want. Yeah, until it requires big heaping loads of cash for something nobody wants to buy. Yeah, I'm going to pay to help you develop and sell a product that nobody wants. And then I'm going to lose a bunch of money. No, thank you. What's amazing to me is that any of these women's sports leagues even exist. It must be a tax write-off or something for some multi-billionaire. I don't know. Maybe it's being funded by the Rothschilds or something. George Soros or something. Who knows? So, yeah. That leaves only the National Women's Hockey League, which took back control of the Buffalo Beauties on May 8th. Good luck, ladies. We need to find sponsors. You got to find somebody who's willing to pay for this shit and is willing to pay your salaries and coordinate all this stuff and run your new little union league. We're going to form a union in the hopes we get jobs. This is the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard. It's so stupid. Oh, man. All right, let's move on. Okay. Yeah, this next one is, you would think Gillette would have learned their lesson, wouldn't you? Gillette. Remember that horrible advertisement they made a while back? The best a man can get, and it just spent the entire time bashing men. They're back. They're back, attacking masculinity again because, losing money, it doesn't really convince them of anything because these people are social justice warriors, and as long as they're getting the salary, they don't care. They don't care if their company is at all profitable. They don't care. Okay, that didn't burn my throat. Let me explain something to you about these social justice warrior pinheads. They get into these positions, and then they use the position to push their narrative, okay? They don't care about the business beyond it being able to stay open. They don't care if it makes a profit, or they don't care if they even harm the profit, so long as there's enough coming in that it stays afloat. And they really don't even care about that, because if it, goes under, they'll just go find another job. They don't care. They do not care. That's why they're cutting their own throats and committing this kind of suicide and destroying their company with this man hate. It's just, I know you don't get it. It's counterintuitive. It doesn't seem to make sense. That's because it doesn't make sense. You're selling male hygiene products and you're attacking men. Because we want to change the definition of what it means to be a man into being a pathetic, ballless, fucking eunuch loser, the type to cut off their own balls and call themselves nulos and have no self-esteem whatsoever. That's the best we could hope for. But we'll settle for men who are slightly more effeminate, really can't think for themselves, have no ability to think logically, critically, reasonably, and they make good tax livestock, right? And they'll get married and they'll let some woman cut your balls off, at least figuratively, if not literally, and control your whole life and essentially make the relationship untenable, and then they'll divorce you and take all your money, and then you have to pay for 2 households instead of 1 household because you're divorced, but you have to pay child support and alimony in addition to your own fucking rent now because she took your house and your kids. Yeah, that's the kind of men that Gillette wants. And they use media, they use their advertisements to push this propaganda, to push this ideology, all right, to try and program you, make you into good NPC and reshape you into the kind of man they want you to be. And by the way, this advertisement was made by a Wayman. Made by a Wayman. Because I know something about mans. This is great. If a man was making advertisements for tampons or birth control and shaming the women in relation to the product and the purpose it served, women would be up in arms. Hell, if there was a man making these advertisements, even if they were female friendly, the feminists would be freaking out. What about diversity? Representation? Man, don't know anything about Waymans. They don't have ovaries. How dare they comment? Meanwhile, they spend all fucking day and night bitching and moaning about men and what makes masculinity masculine and what makes toxic masculinity toxic. They're allowed to have a say about us, but we're not allowed to have a say about them. I see. Yeah. So they've made another video here. Attacking toxic masculinity. First, I want to read this article, okay? Because it's a big lie, totally disingenuous. It's not an honest advert in any way, shape, or form. It's just, blowing smoke up these people's asses that made this video. All right, new Gillette ad features dad teaching his trans son to shave for the first time. You need to see this adorable video. I have held off watching this because I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to comment on it. It doesn't interest me. These attacks on men, they're just never ending. They need to stop. I can't take it no more, but I knew I had to watch it if I was going to do any commentary on it. So anyway, a new Gillette advert shows the moment a loving dad. Really, you think he's loving, do you? Teaches his transgender son how to shave for the first time. Well, you know what? If Sonny Boy there goes through with the tranny stuff to the end result that the global elites desire to turn every man or virtually every man into a pathetic eunuch loser, he's not going to need to shave. So the global shaving brand casually dropped the video on May 23rd. They apparently learned nothing from the catastrophe. That was their last anti-male video. And it's featuring a boy named Samson Brown and his dad. And by the way, this is real. The boy, Samson, is supposedly transgender. The father is supposedly an ally and supporter of his son's transgender freakish nature. and has done nothing to curb or curtail it. And this is actually supposedly a real representation, and him showing his son how to shave for the first time. Ugh. No shit. It's seriously. Talk about cringy. It's cringy just listening to a description. Wait till you see the video. Whenever, wherever, however it happens, your first shave is special, they wrote in the caption. Yeah. Whenever, wherever, however, then what the fuck are you including a trans person? Why are you putting identity politics into a commercial if it doesn't matter when, where, or how it happens? Why do you need to inject politics? Right, because you're a social justice warrior moron running Gillette, and you can't pass up any opportunity to try and indoctrinate, influence impressionable young people and to virtue signal to your woke buddies out there. Samson says in the video, I'm at the point in my manhood. Manhood, Samson? Let me tell you something about manhood, son. You don't know a goddamn thing about it, okay? And part of that is the failure of your daddy, who himself is not a man and was probably raised by a single mother and taught to be more feminine than masculine, and you yourself are nothing but a pathetic freak pussy who has no clue what it means to be a man. You have no idea what it means to be a man, because if you knew, you wouldn't be wanting to be a Wayman. And I got news for you, pal. You'll never be a Wayman. You can try all you want. You are what you are, and you can't be something else. So he goes on to say, I'm actually happy. It's not just myself transitioning. It's everybody around me transitioning. What? They love the sophistry. This is just mumbo-jumbo bullshit. Thank you so much, Gillette, Samson commented underneath the new advert, for allowing me to share such an important moment in a man's life. You're only a man, technically. You might have balls, but literally, figuratively speaking, you have no balls, Samson. You're pathetic. You're a pathetic loser, Samson. Ashamed of being a man. You pathetic loser, you. Instead of being who I am, what I am, and being proud to be what I am, I'm going to cave to the social justice warrior left and all the little goodies they think I'm going to get if I become a Wayman. And be ashamed of being a man. I want to cut my dick off. You pathetic loser. Fuck you, Samson. Fuck you. He then added, I look forward to the great things. You're going to be singing soprano like that forever, very soon, pal. Wait till they cut off your balls. I look forward to the great things you're going to continue doing to encourage us all to be our best selves. Samson also used the hashtag #MyBestSelf. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Gillette replied, thank you for sharing your story, Samson. We're honored to showcase this special moment between you and your father and are proud to have you as a partner. You want to know how you know this is purely political and that this advertisement is designed to do nothing more than try to socially reconstruct people, try to break down and then reconstruct society to fit their political and ideological narrative, because something like 0.1% of people are actually trannies. Despite this number of 0.4%, that's only because you got a bunch of confused people out there who have been confused and are now calling themselves trannies because of the global elite, the media, the government, whatever, their teachers, giving them, telling them, and indoctrinating them into this leftist bullshit. And these kids seeing all of the advantages they will get if they pretend to be Wayman. Okay? Not to mention the self-hate that is inundated day after day after day within them by all the man-hate out there. Okay? So the truth is that the number of these freaks out there who are real trannies is like something like 0.1%, like 1 in 1,000, probably 1 in 2,000 even. Freaks who belong in a sideshow. Yeah. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So, yeah. I mean, why aren't you catering to the 99.9% of people who ain't like this kid? Because it's political. Because this is what you want. This is what you want your customer base to become. You want them to become a bunch of ballless pussies who are impressionable, easily manipulated NPCs. Thank you for your courage and confidence in sharing your journey to become your best self, Samson. Samson. Isn't that the guy from the Bible who took the jawbone of an ass and killed 100 men? Yeah, I don't think this Samson is that manly and masculine and muscular. I don't think so. Gillette made international headlines earlier this year when it released a short film on toxic masculinity, also made by a Wayman. Yeah. The global shaving brand made a big statement about the rise of the Me Too movement. Yeah, the real statement was made by all the men that were falsely accused. The truth of the matter is, the only Me Too movement out there that is real is all the men that have been accused and are themselves saying, me too, because I was falsely accused. Me too. Me too. Bullying, harassment, Gillette wrote in the caption to that YouTube video, is the best a man can get. You scum. You scum. I love it. I love it. Can you imagine? Could you imagine a company selling tampons and shit like that saying, don't be fat. Don't accuse men falsely of rape. Don't make accusations of sexual assault. Don't make men into a Me Too. Don't create a Me Too movement among men by falsely accusing them. These tampons and falsely accusing men of rape is the best a woman can get. Could you imagine that commercial? What would happen? There would be a global outrage. That company would literally be boycotted and they would go out of business. I don't care if it was a multi-billion-dollar corporation like Amazon, into the toilet. But you do it with men, no big deal. No big deal. Men are a bunch of pussies. Oh, they just lie down and take it, right? They then added, it's only by challenging ourselves to do more. You make razors. Go fuck yourself. It's not your job to tell me how to be a better person. And I don't think you know, by the way, because you're a Wayman. You're the ones talking all the time about how men can't tell women how to be women. Because, you don't have ovaries, man. Well, bitch, the same logic goes vice versa. You don't have a cock and balls. You can't tell me how to be a man. So shut the fuck up, bitch. Oh, but of course, they don't follow their own logic. Do as I say, not as I do, right? Yes, we need to help people to get closer to their best, to say the right thing, to act the right way. No, you don't. Sell your product, shut up. Many praised the initiative, however, but also many boycotted the brand for being too political. These people began using the hashtag boycott Gillette and proclaiming they will never buy the product again. I won't. I never did to begin with, though. I thought it was overpriced. I use a quad razor. I do shave my face sometimes, believe it or not. I don't shave a lot, but I shave when I need to, when it's necessary. I mean, I use an electric razor, but I like to leave 2 or 3 days growth on there. I like the look. But I do keep my sideburns neatly trimmed. I keep my hair neatly cut. It's just I don't like the razor burn and all that. But and even then, I use a quad-bladed razor. But I don't use Gillette's. They're too expensive, I think. It's a waste of money, and after this shit, I would never use their product. Any man with any self-esteem would not use the product of a company that hates them, merely for having a cock and balls. Am I wrong? So at the time of writing this, the video about the tranny kid has 790,000 thumbs up, but like 1.5 million thumbs down. So it's not liked. It's overwhelmingly disliked. It was panned. But Gillette's going to keep doing it because you guys keep buying their product. See, this is the problem. Gillette hates men. All these big companies hate men because they're run by uber feminists or these pathetic male feminist allies who call themselves male feminists who push this shit, right? Who push this shit. They're all a bunch of crazy leftists, man-hating cunts or self-hating men. And you continue to enable them by buying their shit. Stop doing it. There's other brands. How about that Dollar Shave Club or something? Do that. Or go buy a cheapy single-bladed razor at the dollar store or something. It doesn't work that well, but it works. Anyway, let's check this video out. Yes, I did make a copy. Yes, I'm going to show it to you to give you some context and so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, because some of you might think, well, Christopher, you're getting too upset over nothing. It's just a video. Yeah, wait till you see it. Wait till you see it and then tell me that, okay? All right, I'm clicking on it. There it is. All right, let's begin.
Growing up, I was always trying to figure out what kind of man I wanted to become, and I'm still trying to figure out what kind of man that I want to become.
You're growing up, he was trying to figure out what kind of... Jeez, I gotta move now. Fuck. I should have made it smaller, but I was afraid you guys wouldn't be able to see it. Okay, there we go. So growing up, and there's his father behind him, by the way. He looks like he's 18 or older. My guess, if I had to guess, is that his parents are separated or divorced. He grew up with a single mother. So the father wasn't around that much. The father's there now trying to make up for lost time and guide his son, who prior to this had no guidance. Yeah. So you were trying to figure out what kind of man you would be. So comes from an estranged family, my guess. No father around in any real way. So, you know, if his father was around, clearly his father's a pussy. Okay? Clearly his father is too tolerant and a pussy, because my son would not be calling himself a Wayman. He wouldn't be adopting this trans shit. He would have grown up in a stable household, seeing by example what a real man is. He doesn't wear flower dresses and cut off his cock. Yeah. But he had no positive role models. So, yeah, it's a big surprise this happened. You see, kids are very impressionable. I don't think people know this anymore. I really do think people have forgotten how to parent, if they ever knew to begin with. But something they've clearly forgotten is just how impressionable kids are. They're literally so impressionable, they only have to see something once, and then it becomes ingrained in their psyche, and it can become a part of who they are if they don't have adults there to counter this nonsense, this bullshit that they have had impressed upon them. That's clearly what happened here to this abnormal person.
Growing up, I was always trying to figure out what kind of man I wanted to become, and I'm still trying to figure out what kind of man that I want to become.
You're still trying to figure it out. But you figure one thing out. You don't want to be a man. You want to be a Wayman. What is this? Well, you don't want to be a man. You said this says you're a tranny. His trans son. What do you mean? What kind of you are? I don't understand this. How confused are you? If you're calling yourself trans, that means that you identify as a Wayman, not as a man. So why are you talking about becoming a man? See, they're erroneously trying to push the idea that you can be trans and still a man. Then how are you trans? I'm confused. Doesn't trans mean you identify as the opposite or something other than the sex you actually are? So how can you run around and be saying you're a fucking man and you want to figure out what kind of man you want to be when you're trans? That's like saying I'm gay. Do you like to sleep with men? No, I like to bang women. But that's not what gay means. Well, it's what I want it to mean. Oh, yeah, because we're living in a postmodern world where nothing means anything. Words can mean whatever I want. Reality can be whatever I want it to be. Yeah. Oh, boy, this kid is fucking turned around bad. Oh, boy, he's got some bad parents. Bad fucking parents.
I always knew I was different. I didn't know that there was a term for the type of person that I was.
Oh, boy. So this is what I mean. He always knew he was different because at a very young age, he had no guidance. And at some point, he got a visual, an image, trans presented to him in some form, and then it stuck in his head. And he had no mommy and no daddy there to guide him, to provide him with a good, stable, strong foundation that would act as an anchor to self. So he just goes wherever the wind will blow, right? I'm just getting blown around everywhere. I have no real stable foundation. I've got no strong family ties. No powerful, strong attachments to a male mentor, father figure, right? I have no idea what it means to be a man, because I was never taught what it meant to be a man, because my father was never around, and if he was around, he was a pussy who accepted this shit. Oh my God, my father, he would have knocked my head up against the fucking wall if I talked about shit like this kid's talking about. Are you fucking kidding me? This guy's father should have knocked his head up against the wall the first time he heard about this shit. Oh, but then he would have went to jail, right? Oh, the kid, ooh. Yeah, the kid's an autonomous being, right? Oh, that's abuse, ooh. Really? And what is cutting off your cock and balls? What is allowing this kind of mental disorder, this kind of dysfunction to continue to the point where your kid wants to cut off his fucking cock and balls? Is that not abuse? Isn't that worse than getting your head knocked up against the wall and getting some sense knocked into your brain? Oh, no. Yeah, we can't counter the leftist narrative. And this is the end result they want, by the way. Good little tax chattel.
I went into my transition.
What transition? You look like a guy to me. You look like a dude.
Just wanting to be happy. I'm glad I'm at the point where I'm able to shave. South, north, east, West, never in a hurry. Right.
Warm. Now don't be scared.
What is this? What is don't be scared? The way these razors are made, they got wires and shit running across. You couldn't cut your throat with these things if you fucking tried, okay? Don't be scared. Wow, talk about an overprotective pussy father. No wonder this kid has turned out to be such a pathetic wimp loser that's so confused.
Be scared. Shaving is about being confident.
Oh no, confidence is not about being confident. No, it's about shaving. Shaving is about being confident. Oh my God, yeah. So we got the father here trying to overcompensate for his lack of presence in this child's life at an early age. The problem's the father. And this guy looks like he's older than me. So what's going on here? What? I mean, maybe he's a crackhead and fucking former alcoholic. Maybe he's the same age as I am and he just looks like shit because of all the substance abuse. I don't know, okay? But Jesus Christ, dude, you look pretty old, okay? How can you be falling for this nonsense? You came from the same generation as me. I look better than you do. But, yeah, I look more youthful, but we come from the same generation. What are you doing to your son? What are you doing to your son? Knock his head up against the fucking wall and knock some sense into that pinhead. Jesus Christ. What the hell are you doing? Letting your son do the job. The damage is already done, unfortunately.
Oh, you're doing fine. You are doing fine.
He looks like he's about 18 to 20 years old. Why are you talking to him like he's 5? See, this is another problem with parents these days. They coddle and pander to their kids. Look at this coddling. Oh, good. You're doing good. You're doing great. It sounds like the way you would talk to a dog. Good dog. Sit down. Good dog. Here's your treat. Talk about condescending and coddling. Wow. So I can automatically tell this guy was not in this kid's life early on, that he was a single, that he was an absentee father, maybe because of a cunt mother, probably an extremely feminist mommy, okay? Super uber feminist mama. Yeah, one of those type of black ladies who has a strong voice. You don't talk to me like that. I'm the man. I wear the pants, bitch. Even though I have a vagina. Yeah. One of those types of women that hates men. Yeah, right. It's a pretty good guess considering that like 71% or something of black kids come out of households where there's no father. So, yeah, this father's trying to make up for lost time. He wasn't there, so now he's got a boy who wants to be a girl but calls himself a man and is saying he wants to be the best man he can be while trying to be a woman. Talk about confusing.
I'm at the point in my manhood where I'm actually happy. It's not just myself transitioning, it's everybody around me transitioning.
You're not happy, son. You're deluded. You're thinking you're happy because you're embracing what you've been told is correct and right to embrace, okay? But you're not happy, okay? It's faux, it's fake. You are deluded. You're mentally ill, all right? You're mentally ill. Lots of mentally ill people out there. Cannibals. Cannibals are happy when they eat people. Are they mentally healthy? They have a mental problem, right? They have a mental problem, and they are essentially doing that which their mental problem makes them want to do, right? They're happy. Shouldn't they just continue eating people? I don't get this. So what? Who cares if you're happy if you live in a dysfunctional life, pinhead? That's harmful to you and others. You know, everyone else around me is transitioning. So not only am I fucking myself up, I'm fucking up everybody else around me. Idiot. Again, so what do you need to inject the politics for? Why do you need to inject the fucking identity politics if whenever, wherever, however it happens? Or you're essentially saying it doesn't matter how it happens. The first shave is what's important. Not whether or not you're a fucking tranny. They're like 1/10 of the population. What the fuck? Are you making a commercial that is essentially going out to all men in regards to first shaves and presenting this as normal? And this as the normal. This isn't even normal. 99% plus of boys are not trannies. No matter how much you want them to be, you pinheads. So why would you present this fucking commercial, which is way outside what's normal, 1 in 1,000, 1 in 2,000 as the norm? Because that's what you want the norm to be. You want the norm to be a bunch of feminine presenting boys who call themselves men even though they don't want to be men. Which is bullshit, by the way. Bullshit! You're presenting confusion and dysfunction as normal, and you're trying to essentially manipulate people into accepting this and pushing this as normal and adopting this behavior as their own. Yeah, I'd like it if my son was a tranny. I can imagine. I can imagine if when I was a kid, I went to my father at a dress or something. Oh my God! He would have went and got a hammer from the fucking garage. I'm gonna whack some sense into your fucking head. And he would have been right to do so. But now, the child's feelings are paramount. Yeah, a dumb kid. A dumb fucking kid. Dumb kid. Never worked a day in his fucking life. Doesn't know how the real world works. He's never gone hungry. He's never had anybody shoot at him. Has he ever been in a fucking trench? In war? Has he ever had to face reality? Stand on his own 2 feet? No. But somehow he's equipped to make his own decisions about his life? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. The parents have failed. The kid is a fucking deluded moron, mentally ill human being, and he's going to grow up miserable. He got himself thinking he's happy now because he's fulfilling the requirements of the delusion that he's been taught as being normal. Give it some time, son. Give it some fucking time. You're going to fuck up your life. You're going to fuck up the lives of everybody around you. The morbidity rate of these people is incredibly high. It's like 13 times higher. Already, something like 87% of suicides are men. Nobody cares about that. You know what the suicide rate among these people is? 13 or 14 times higher than the regular population. I'm happy. You're 18 and you're a dummy. And you're having your delusions fed and you ain't had your cock and balls chopped off yet, pinhead. My first shave. Son, you ain't going to be needing to shave anything if you get them cock and balls chopped off. What are you going to do then? You're going to be happy then? No, you're going to have already blown your fucking head off. Well, no, you probably won't do that because you've been feminized, so you'll kill yourself in a way that women do, like poison or something. Oh, this is so ridiculous. So fucking ridiculous. The attempt by these global corporations to normalize the abnormal and the dysfunctional. So, let me know what you think in the comments section. That's it for this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my bitter red pills truth presented in such a harsh, abrasive way that there's no way you could not get the truth right in the fucking face. Like being smacking into a brick fucking wall or having that brick wall smacked into your face. If you like it, please consider subscribing. Also, check out my website, therealistphilosopher.com, to get links to where all my content is disseminated. And also, there's a donate button. A donate button, that's right, on my website that you can click. There's currently 2 ways to donate. There's a third, Subscribe Star. I still have to go there and work out all the fucking different tiers and shit. And so I am on Subscribe Star too, and I'll be very soon posting a link to that in the donate section on my website for those of you who are not big fans of Patreon, which is most people, unless you're a lefty, of course. If you're a lefty, you're trying to get me off Patreon. Okay, and please follow me on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Gab, Instagram. You'll find all these links in the description. And if you'd like to be on the show, or if there's a specific topic you would like me to address, you can email me. The email is right there in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, admin@therealistphilosopher.com. That's admin@therealistphilosopher.com. And that's it. I will see you tomorrow at the same time, 10 to 11 a.m. New York City time. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you a good day. Take care.